Chicago Cubs baseball is presented by Motorola. And coming up here tonight from Wrigley Field, the second half begins. It's the Cubs and the Twins, the first of three. And welcome into the broadcast booth. John Chumby with you. And this guy, Ryan Dempster, good to see you.
Boo. Good to see you too, pal.
All right, Elise Menaker is going to join us coming up, so fresh off the All-Star break. No All-Star break for Pete Crow Armstrong for the second straight year, an All-Star and really one of the best players in the entire National League.
Yeah, the All-Star game is a showcase of this game's great players, and Pete Crow Armstrong is exactly one of that. And I think that what really shined through, his availability to the media. You saw his availability to the fans. He looked great on the red carpet. He did it all, and he was so gracious with his time. He was great out on the field during batting practice. We had him mic'd up, and just everything he did. And then what does he do? He goes out there in the opportunity in the game to get a chance to go out and get a base hit. Goes 1 for 1. Listen, you only get so many chances in the All-Star game, and for him to go out there and do that, it was a special couple days for him, and really well deserving of his All-Star nod.
Yeah, no question about it. All right, the Twins hot going into the break. They won 10 of 15. They have a new manager, Derek Shelton. They can really score. We shift gears, though, and talk about our pitching matchup, and here's what it looks like. It'll be Bailey Ober and Colin Ray. Bailey Ober is a big guy, Demp, but he doesn't throw that hard.
No, 6'9", 250 pounds, out of college at Charleston, but, you know, he's a guy that sits around like 90, 92 miles an hour tops. Like, he doesn't throw overly hard. The key for the Cubs will be jump on him early and often. This is just his second start back off the IL. And for Colin Ray, you know, looking to get the ball club off to a good start out of the All-Star break.
No question about it. When we continue, we'll have keys to the game. We might even have Elise Menaker. Cubs and Twins coming at you. Chicago Cubs baseball on Marquee Sports Network is brought to you by the Bob Locurcio Auto Group. You're going to like buying a car this way. By Circus Sports. And by your local Hyundai dealer. Find the dealer nearest you at buyhyundai.com.
Fresh off his second All-Star appearance, Pete Crow Armstrong, he made his way out to center field. That's where he is getting ready now. And, of course, he receives a nice ovation from fans. So fresh off the All-Star game, he knows that he can always count on the fans here supporting him, and no exception here today as we get started, guys, with the second half.
Second half, let's go. John Chumby, Ryan Dempster, Elise Menaker, and two-time All-Star Pete Crow Armstrong. Colin Ray on the mound as he gets ready to face the Minnesota Twins at 48 and 49, and the Twins won 10 of 15 to finish the first half. This team can really score. Trevor Larnach leads it off. First pitch of the game is in there for a strike, and we are underway. All right, Dempy, the kid from Cascade, Iowa.
Yeah, and loves pitching at home, right? You see those numbers at 2.72 at Wrigley Field this year. Home cooking.
Fastball get up there in the neighborhood of 95. He throws that changeup and multiple breaking balls. The 1-1. And that was the changeup a little bit low. Now 2-1.
It's a good take by Larnach. You know, a pitch like that, almost like maybe he saw something, because that's a really nasty pitch bottom of the zone.
Inside Larnach, a big guy, former first-round pick out of Oregon State in 2018, does an excellent job getting on base. 379 is OBP. The league average is 319. And that one misses. It's ball 4. All right, let's check out the Twins lineup, and it is brought to you by Ford. Larnach, Jeffers, Bell, then Clemens, Lewis, and Lee, Roden, Keishel, and Gray for first-year man Derek Shelton. And again, brought to you by Ford. The Twins lead the AL. They're 6th in baseball in runs per game. It's a good offense. And here's their catcher, Ryan Jeffers, who has had a great start to his season, interrupted by a hamate injury.
Yeah, one of those guys you talked about on base percentage, sitting at 404. You know, an on base plus slugging, an OPS of 942, doing some damage.
Swing and a miss.
And that's one thing about this Twins offense people don't realize. You mentioned it, leading the league in runs. maybe because they're in Minnesota, they don't get all the big games. We don't see them a lot, but they know how to thump. They got 7 guys in their lineup with an OPS over league average. They can score runs in bunches.
The 1-1. There's a strike. On the ground, Swanson to Nico for 1 at the first. Safe.
Seeing this ball off the bat, obviously it jams Jeffers, hits it into the ground. Not hit quite hard enough for a catcher. Moves down the line relatively quick, able to beat that ball out.
So 1 out, and Jeffers replaces Larnach at first. Here's Josh Bell, and that's through there for a strike. Bell, switch hitter, has put up good numbers this year. He's hit 206 major league homers. An all-star back in 2019. The 1-1. Popped up. Bregman long run as that's being pushed towards the seats and out of play. And that one on top of the roof. Let's check out our keys to the game, brought to you by your local Hyundai dealers, Den.
Well, lead the way, Ray. Colin Ray making that start right after the All-Star break. Always get the opportunity to get your ball club off to a good start. Home cooking. We know the Cubs play well here at Wrigley Field, especially Colin Ray. He loves pitching here. And the champs are here. That's right. It's a big weekend here at Wrigley Field. It starts tonight. It's the 2016 World Series champs are in the house.
How about that play? Michael Busch gets one back to first, not in time. Oh, Bushy stealing a base hit from Bell and gets the lead runner.
You know, the Cubs infield defense as good as anybody in the league, and this is just a great play. Michael Busch, good throw. Make sure you get that lead runner. Josh Bell able to beat it down the line, but keeping that runner at first base. Guy out of scoring position. Show that glove off, Bushy.
It's really turned into one of the better defensive first basemen in the NL.
Well, I mean, the whole infield all the way around, you're talking about a superior fundamental defensive team. They make the easy plays, they make the routine plays, but they also make plays like that, hard defensive plays that win a lot of ball games for you.
That ball was hit 104 miles an hour. As Clemens pushes it foul, the Cubs, whatever defensive metric you want to look at, and they are elite. #1 in outs above average, #1 in fielding run value, #1 in defensive runs saved, and the individuals elite as well. All right, so outs above average, and you look at him, PCA on the left, first among all outfielders. Swanson fourth among shortstops. Horner top 4, and then Michael Busch third among first basemen. But they're leading the majors in that category collectively.
And I think that's why you see the success that the Cubs have in starting rotation, especially with Cabrera out, with no Cade Horton. The swing and miss stuff is a little less, so you need good defense. And you're sitting here in second place in your division, 12 games over 500 because of that.
Colin Ray gets the strikeout. Clemens is gone. He pitches around the leadoff walk. The Cubs come up to hit when we come back.
I want to go back to your.
Hey, welcome back. Bottom of the first, and there's no score. PCA coming up to hit, and it's time for the Intelligence Center, powered by CDW and HP. Last 50 seasons for the Cubs, position players wins above replacement at the break, and it's not even close. #2 on the list is 5 wins above replacement by Derek Lee in 2005. Sandberg, then PCA again last year, and Sosa. Dempy is, I think he came in at 6 there.
Yeah, I just missed the list. They said they would put up at 6, but I didn't want to make anybody who finished at 7th or 8th feel bad, so let's just keep it at 5.
Fair enough. All right, so forget for a second about the Cubs. How about he's the first position player with a 6 WAR at the All-Star break since 2008. Lance Berkman with the Astros. Now again, yeah, 96 games. WAR is a counting stat. So, but even still, when you're talking about, I mean, 6 wins above replacement, it's ridiculous.
Well, and I think I go even farther. Look at the start of his season. To be 6 wins above replacement, and basically April was a non-factor for him. His ability to bounce back in May, and what he did in June was unbelievable. Player of the month, tore the cover off the baseball, was stealing bases, catching everything, like a game changer.
2 balls, 2 strikes to count. Bailey Ober. And the pitch. Yeah, that's too high. Dempy, this is a big cat.
No, I mean, you look at it, 6'9" extension in the upper percentile of the league at 7.2 feet. You know, and for a guy that size, doesn't throw overly hard. This is just his second start back from some elbow soreness that he had. Pitch is better at home than on the road. On the road, it's been a little bit of a struggle for him. 7.66 ERA this year with a 1-3 record.
He pops this one up, and that pushes foul and out of play.
I'll tell you, I just came away from the All-Star break so impressed by Pete. And I told him this when we were coming back to Chicago. I said, when I came up and made the All-Star team, we didn't have to deal with a quarter of what you guys have to go through. You know, as far as media requests, and be at this thing for the Fan Fest, and go here, and just so much. And he handled it all with such grace, man.
And there's a walk. Pete Crow Armstrong takes the walk. And let's check out the Cubs lineup. As Craig Counsell has put it together, it will be Seiya Suzuki to follow PCA, then Michael Busch, Bregman, Happen, Horner, Conforto, Kelly, and Swanson. The band playing the disco music.
Look at that guy, too, in the 7th hole. You mentioned it before the game. Michael Conforto, what a solid addition he's been, and come up huge in so many opportunities this year.
PCA on the move, throw to second, too late. Stolen base number 25 for Pete Crow Armstrong. And this slide brought to you by Wisconsin Dells. Plan your getaway at WizDells.com.
And you see that PCA is still putting his glove on, but he said, fine, if you're not going to pay attention to me. He gets almost a little bit of a running lead and steals this base easily, puts himself in scoring position.
And now here's Seiya. Suzuki slotted into 2-hole. He finished the first half pretty hot. 306 his final 15, including 5 homers and slugged .613. Bailey Ober.
And if the Cubs can continue to do that throughout the night, lay off that breaking ball in the dirt in pivotal counts, 1-1, 2-2 counts, you're going to see a lot of damage because he can't overpower you.
The kick to 2-1. And he's fallen behind Seiya Suzuki as Ober shakes his head. 31 years old from Charlotte, North Carolina. 12th rounder 2017 out of the College of Charleston. Seiya will take his walk, back-to-back walks. That is not normally a thing for Bailey Ober. 6.3% walk rate, and the league average is 9.
Hey, listen, coming into Wrigley Field, it's a little bit different environment. We got a packed house tonight, Friday night game, and Eddie Vedder and Bill Murray on the mound before you took the hill. It can be nerve-wracking.
Michael Busch in a run-producing spot. Busch at 239, 11 homers. The 1-0. The 1-1. And a challenge from Jeffers, ABS, powered by T-Mobile.
Catcher's challenging.
I don't know. I think this pitch is just going to miss outside, but it looks like it could catch the corner. I usually don't doubt the catchers too much.
The pitch is a strike. The count is 1-2.
Wow. I mean, just barely. Michael Busch asking for time here. Bruce Dreckman, our plate umpire. Good personality. There's a quirky thing that he does, how he registers balls and strikes. He doesn't use a clicker. Pitch downstairs.
Elastic band, correct?
Yeah, he does the elastic band the way umpires utilize, or guys in the NFL, I should say. So it's on the middle finger on both hands. That represents 2 and 2. Line drive, base hit, right field. PCA around third, on his way to the plate. Rodin's throw, too late. RBI single, Michael Busch, and the Cubs have the lead. It's 1-0.
Busch gets a changeup. We saw one earlier in the at-bat that he swung and missed on 1-0. This one's up in the zone just a little bit more. He's able to stay back on it. And we talk about the speed of PCA. This play isn't even close at home plate. And he freezes for a second, but when you're that fast, they can't catch you. And a great job of base running by Seiya Suzuki. Go first to third with none out. Put himself right there. Sack fly can score you from there.
And now it's Bregman, the cleanup man. Nobody out. 1-0 Cubs. And the pitch in for a strike.
Just painted on the outside corner. You can see Breggy wanted to challenge it, but he's like, nah, it's a good pitch. Sometimes you got to tip your cap.
Bounce towards third, foul.
And this is exactly what the Cubs want to do. Already have Ober laboring in the first inning. It's a hot, humid night. He hasn't thrown in 9 days. You want to get to him early, and they're doing that.
Yeah, it is a hot, humid evening, and certainly was today. Air quality, certainly don't notice it the same way we did yesterday in the Chicagoland area. The 1-2. Ober at 22 pitches. Suzuki at third, Busch at first, 1-0. And a swing and a miss, and Bregman is gone on a four-seamer up in the zone. Well, that just goes to show you, 88 can still beat you up top.
Yeah, it looks so good up there to a hitter's eyes, but it's almost impossible. Anything above that belly button, no matter if it's 88 or 98, it's hard to get on top of. And Bregman saw it up there, looked good, trying to hit a ball in the air for that sac fly, but couldn't catch up to it.
So 1 down, 1-0 Cubs. And the batter is Ian Happ. First one to Happ. And a changeup misses low.
And you're going to see a lot of changeups from Ober because guys who don't throw overly hard, in order to create velocity, you have to create distance. You do that by changing speeds. Front to back with that changeup, you'll see a lot of those, especially the lefties.
On the ground, that's the first. They get one there, now a tag there. Out. Does the run count? Craig Counsell saying hang on. And they're not going to look at it.
And Happ hits this ball to first base, and I think this is a little bit of a base running mistake by Michael Busch. As soon as that play becomes a force play is taken off by tagging the base, Busch, you would freeze almost because that allows the runner to score. Unfortunately, it doesn't happen. He's out before that run crosses home plate.
Ceremony to announce the Cubs and the 2027 All-Star game, and saw the bases being put down with the various logos from previous All-Star games at Wrigley Field, and then the unveiling of the 2027 All-Star game logo. Ultimately, Murray in attendance, Eddie Vedder, and Anthony Rizzo. Big weekend honoring the 2016 group, and of course the unveiling of the All-Star logo for next year. You know, Philly is done. It's on to Chicago.
Yeah, and I'm just saying, just been there this week and being a part of all that. Philadelphia, you guys absolutely crushed it. A phenomenal job of putting on an All-Star game. And it just gave me like so much excitement to see this place, especially, you know, back in 1990, it was a lot different. When you see the renovations and the ballparks, it's going to be an absolutely incredible couple days here next summer. I cannot wait.
I mentioned some of the participants. Bill Murray, fresh off the fishing right there, and Eddie Vedder with that cool corduroy Cubs hat, and then Riz to Clark. Got it.
It's just nice to see Anthony throw a good pitch, because like if he was in charge of catching it, we're not quite sure if that would happen.
No doubt.
What happened in the bleachers last September.
Holy cow. That's why I'm retired. That's what he said. Royce Lewis here. And a swing and a miss, and they're drinking up at the corner tap. 2 strikeouts, free drinks, 1 gone.
And you see that spin, just taking enough off that. Sometimes we can get caught in that hard breaking ball. That's something that Royce Lewis can hit, but a little bit less speed, something a little softer. He struggles with, well located, get that strikeout.
Lee at the plate. Lee getting to start at third base.
Yeah, Brooks Lee having a really nice year. You looked at OPS 730, 14 homers, and move around the infield, plays short, second, third base.
31 extra base hits. He's a switch hitter, former first rounder back in 2022. Fly ball center field. Pete Crow Armstrong. And with 2 away, reminder, AbbVie and the Chicago Cubs are teaming up to strike out cancer. Roughly 241 Americans are diagnosed with cancer every hour. For each Cubs strikeout at Wrigley this season, AbbVie will donate $241 to Cubs charities. AbbVie, people, passion, possibilities. Last start for Colin Ray was in Baltimore. Delivered a solid performance.
This pitch right here.
Yeah, that should have been a strike.
That pitch was a strike. But court awareness by Carson Kelly. 2 out, nobody on. I'm not going to use my challenge right here. It doesn't make any sense. And I think that's where we're seeing that kind of evolve. throughout this season, guys understanding when and when not to challenge.
Starting to say, last time Carson Kelly, or I should say Colin Ray, started was July 8th at Baltimore. He had a slew of family that made the 14-hour drive from Cascade, Iowa to Baltimore. It's really cool.
I mean, what a place to go take a ball game into.
Kids, grandkids, to meet his mom Bridget, and yeah, it's really neat to see the whole Ray. It wasn't the whole clan, but it was a lot of them. That one in there for a strike, down 3-2. And that is in there, and a challenge from Roden.
He's not going to win that challenge, Boog.
Pitch is called a strike. The hitter is challenging.
ABS powered by T-Mobile. And that's...
The pitch is confirmed. Minnesota has one challenge remaining.
That is right there. Colin Ray, 3 punch-outs. Corner tap room, I see ya. One zip, Cubs lead this as Pete Crow Armstrong with a leadoff walk, and he came around to score. Nico Horner steps to the plate. So it'll be Horner, Conforto, and Kelly. Line drive and a base hit up the middle. So the leadoff man is on again. Been a roller coaster ride, to say the least, for the Cubs. Got off to the best start in baseball through the 8th of May at 27-12, and then fell off a cliff, 7-22. And since June 11th at 20-8, that's the best record in baseball. It's hard to figure.
Yeah, you try to find answers, and sometimes things are, as in the words of the great Jason Stark, that's baseball.
No question. First one to Conforto is in for a strike. Downstairs, and Elise Menaker.
Boog, exactly what Demp just said. I was looking for answers from Jed Hoyer, president of baseball operations, early today, and he said, I don't really have an explanation. You know, it does feel pretty random that in his entire career he's maybe had 5 or so 10-game win streaks. You have 2 in the first half. So I myself was looking for answers, and there aren't really any.
Ober. I will say this, I think on the idea of emphasis on is a team streaky? Like, is that an ability or a thing or a trademark? They have been streaky. Horner dancing around, there he goes. That one on a hop, gets through it in center field. Nico's not stopping. On his way to third, throw comes in. And a base hit put runners at first and third.
Yeah, and you can see Nico bouncing off first base back and forth, and all of a sudden he just gets going. Conforto scorches the baseball up the middle, and not even a hesitation. Of course, Nico's going to take third for a hot second. He's like, how do I score on this one? You know, back to what you were talking about the streakiness. I think, too, you look at May, what happened? You had Matthew Boyd go down. You had Cabrera go down, so then maybe it doesn't hit you right away, but then all of a sudden the lasting effects of what it does to your bullpen. And then go back to June, PCA Player of the Month in June, carried offensively, pitching staff a little bit better, get Matthew Boyd back. So the ebbs and flows of a season, but sometimes you're streaky, but also sometimes that's just the way your season ends up.
Yeah, sometimes it's random. I think I still would say I lean towards everybody's kind of streaky. You know, Mike Petriello sent me this rolling averages. It's basically just a graph and put. You think about Dansby Swanson kind of epitomizing the streakiness, right? And ultimately, high fly ball, left field, curling down the left side, and that is fouled and out of play. But he put it up and mirrored it with Juan Soto. And in terms of the spikes and the lows, they look the same. So I think that streakiness is about how it feels a lot of times, as opposed to what are we defining actually as streaky. That's me sucking the fun out of it. But
yeah, well, I think what happens too is, like, I watched Alfonso Soriano. I played with him, and that dude was Antarctica,
right,
or the surface of the sun. So, like, you'd watch him one week and he hit 7 home runs in the week, and you're like, and he's not even throwing strikes, by the way, he's hitting everything. And then a week later, he's swinging and missing pitches by 10 feet. So, you know, I think you're saying back to that thing, when you guys feel good at the plate, you know, they can get hot streaky just as they can be cold streaky.
2-2. Swing and a miss. And Kelly is gone, and Ober picks up his second strikeout. One of the other aspects that people have looked at with the Cubs, the hitting with runners in scoring position. They certainly have gotten guys on base. The Cubs are 4th in the league in OBP, #1 in walk rate. But at times, hitting with men in scoring position has been problematic. Here's Dansby now, his first at bat of the night. On the ground, but foul. Lise, are you okay down there?
Live.
Everything's fine?
Everything's fine.
Everything is fine.
Did you catch that?
I see this camera turning. This is my wellness check. We're good. I don't know where it goes. I just duck, but we're good.
On the ground to short, to second, back to first, and they turn it. And the Cubs get the first 2 on and aren't able to score. Top of the 3rd as the Cubs lead it 1-0. I love that shot. It's like the level above Glenn Close in the natural. Colin Ray back at it. He'll face Keishel, Gray, and Larnach. Cubs lead 1-0. Got a first inning run from a Michael Busch RBI single to score Pete Crow Armstrong. First offering outside. And there's a strike.
I mean, such a good pitch. 1-0, and you absolutely paint a down and in heater. There's nothing that hitter's doing with that.
Keishel getting to start in center field. Buxton on the IL, one of the best center fielders in the game, and an all-star again this year. And he's eligible to come off. Derek Shelton in his first year as the manager with the Twins, but spent time on their bench previously as bench coach for both Paul Molitor and Rocco Baldelli. And of course, longtime manager with the Pirates. And there he is with Molly, and then before becoming the Pirates manager. 2-2. Three balls, 2 strikes to count. That's tapped foul. Derek Shelton did get a chance to go to Philadelphia as an honorary coach. Joe Ryan to his right, our left. Byron Buxton on the right. Got right in on his stump. Swanson charges and safe at first. Dansby got kind of a changeup grip on it, and it'll be an infield single.
I mean, look at the exit velo, 47.7. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. This ball absolutely runs in hard, jams him, but Keishel's getting down the line really quick. Dansby knows he has to get it off quickly. I think even with a clean exchange, he's probably not getting him. He gets down the line too fast.
I'm with you. And now it's Tristan Gray. Gray, their shortstop. As Ray misses down low. Over the last few years, up until the trade deadline last year, it had been Carlos Correa's their shortstop. Signed as a free agent in 22. And he was their guy there in 22, 23, and 24, and then shipped back to the Stros at the deadline last year.
I was just thinking that if he had a nickname and Chris Berman was doing highlights, he'd call him Tristan 50 Shades of Gray.
Yes.
Probably.
Tap to first, Bush up in it to second. And I think that clipped Dansby in the face. Oh. Nick Frangella head athletic trainer comes out.
At first I thought maybe that ball, it just deflects off of the pad, that oven mitt that Keishel's wearing.
Yeah.
Glances off that just enough. You see this is just going to deflect just enough to give a little bit of a change of direction to Dansby Swanson, and he's trying to get it, and it deflects off his glove, and ow. Ah. You know, for all those kids at home, I mean, that's good base running. You're taught on balls that hit behind you like that, if you can disrupt the base path by moving inside just a little bit. And he's able to do that. Unfortunately, the ball deflects, hits Dansby, and now you put yourself in a pickle with first and third and none out.
It goes fielder's choice and E3.
You ever been hit in the face with a baseball?
I have.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good.
I have a nice lump center mass between my eyebrows.
That's what that's from.
Yep.
Huh. How old were you?
12.
Yeah.
And it was playing catch, and somebody called my name, and then the person that was throwing who wasn't paying attention, even though. But I turned and then turned back, and wow, bang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the toughness, though. Yeah. Dansby's like, hey, guys, listen, I get it. It's time for you guys to go back to the dugout. I got a game to play. Do you think Nick owns those rubber gloves, or do you think he leases them?
I think he rents and he's got a lease with an option to buy.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
You know why legitimately this is true? I'm not even kidding you. I watched like 4 minutes of Fletch yesterday. I really did.
Come on. And
Swear
I just
to
dropped
God,
that.
just dropped it.
That's why we're in the Matrix.
Can't talk about it right here. Why not? Because we can. Dansby staying in. So fielder's choice, and then the E3, and runners are at first and third. Only no strikes with Larnach up here. Walked his first time. Now Ray falls behind. He would gladly trade 2 outs for a run.
Especially early on in the game, you're trying to stay away from the big inning. Double play ball or a sac fly.
And now it's 3-0.
Thought maybe this was one that Carson Kelly might challenge, just being the count it's in. 2-0. Runners on base.
There's a strike, and Larnach taking all the way. First and third, nobody out. Popped up, foul ground, left side. And that finds the stands. Larnach, big guy, 6'3", 223. Born in Walnut Creek, California. Went to high school in Pleasant Hill, and then, as we told you, Corvallis, Oregon, at Oregon State.
Boy, have they ever produced some Major League Baseball players.
Unbelievable. Keishel at third, Gray at first. Line drive, base hit, left field. Keishel in to score, and it's a 1-1 game.
Larnach just serving something out to left field, taking a pitch on the outside part of the plate, stroking it to left.
Ball one, no strikes to Ryan Jeffers. Jeffers and the Twins have been really good in batting average with runners in scoring position. High fly ball left field. That one back, half near the wall, and it's gone. And Jeffers will touch them all. Ryan Jeffers, number 8. And just like that, the Twins have a 4-1 lead.
We mentioned both their ability to hit with runners in scoring position as well as hit the long ball, leading the league in runs scored. Ryan Jeffers gets a hanging breaking ball in the zone. With wind blowing out a little bit to left field, it's going to be a definite homer. 4-0 Twinkies.
Tommy Hotovy out to talk to Colin Ray. So the Cubs on the short end right now. And with nobody out, it's Josh Bell. Bell bounced into a fielder's choice his first time. Switch hitter batting left. And a line drive and a base hit into right field. And that was roped.
Yeah, the Twins in this inning hadn't hit the ball overly hard. Even the home run on the lower end of exit velos as far as home runs goes, but that ball right there hit at 107.8 off the bat of Bell, making up for that robbery of Michael Busch.
Cody Clemens 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Clemens put together a really nice year. He's 30 years old. Former third-round pick out of Texas by the Tigers back in 2018. On the ground, Horner up with it to second, one on the first, and that's 2.
This double play brought to you by Elgin Hyundai, home of the 20 years and 200,000-mile warranty on every new car. And Nico Horner making it look easy, flips it over to Dansby Swanson. His Band-Aid sticking out of his mouth, covering up that busted lip, turns 2 easily.
So 4-6-3, and with 2 down, here's Royce Lewis. Twins lead at 4-1. We're in the third. Boog and Depp along with Elise. Fly ball left field. Happ calls off Swanson. He makes the catch. And the inning is over. Live odds brought to you by Bet365, where winning is everything. Crow Armstrong stands in.
It's plus 600 for a base hit. I wonder what his homer's going to be.
Foul back our way. First plate appearance, a walk. He has the highest increase in walk rate in the majors this year. Last year he walked 4.5% of his plate appearances. This year into tonight, 11.2% of his plate appearances.
Yeah, you love to see that growth out of a young hitter, and I think one of the things you notice the most, especially runners in scoring position, guys on base where maybe he's getting pitched around a little bit, is willing to take that walk.
Swing and a miss, and PCA is gone. One away, base is empty, and Seiya at the plate. Up, and that will get out of play. One and two on Seiya. Ober working away now, 2-2. is off. Now 3-2. Michael Busch lurking in the on-deck circle. 4-1 Twins as Ryan Jeffers with a big 3-run homer. And that is strike 3, and Suzuki, I think, thought about challenging, but he did not.
And that's just a filthy changeup. Think about that pitch to a hitter. Looks like it's 3 feet outside. It's slower, so you all of a sudden your timing's off. You stop on that pitch, and it's able to just get a little bit of an edge at the corner.
Challenge from Jeffers.
Pitch is called the ball. Catcher is challenging.
ABS powered by T-Mobile. Jeffers is right.
Pitch is strike. Count is 0-1.
Two outs, bases clear. 4-1 Twins. And that one down low. Busch been getting the opportunity to play against everyone this year as he fouls one back. There's a stat up on the board that says entering tonight his career OPS against right-handed pitching is .815. I mean, that is excellent, all-star-ish level type stuff.
I think Michael Busch is one of the most underrated players in the National League.
Totally agree.
Maybe all of baseball.
Side.
Gold glove defense. Plays that, he's sitting there at the elite position at first base, one of the elite guys defensively. Power numbers are there, slug numbers are there.
The 2-2. Swing and a miss, and he struck him out. Change up in zone, and Bailey over strikes out the side. A historic day at the friendly confines is coming up tomorrow. If you can't be at Wrigley Field, the Champions Gate dedication. Catch it all live right here on Marquee. Our coverage begins tomorrow at 10 a.m. First offering to Brooks Lee, lifted in the air to left, and he attacked.
Gotta like to have that if you're Colin Ray. He just labored through the last inning, give up 4 runs. Come out there and get 1 pitch, 1 out. It's your best friend. The 1 pitch, 1 out, nothing better. I'll take that over a strikeout any day of the week.
Well, that was the thing Greg Maddux always used to say, right? That his dream was to throw a complete game in 27 pitches.
Yeah.
One down, the 0-1. Carson Kelly trying to sell Bruce Dreckman that time. Alan Roden, they got him at the deadline last year in the trade that sent Lewis Varland to the Blue Jays. Varland this year has been one of the better relievers in all of baseball and an all-star. PCA singled off of him in the game. The 2-1. Chop towards first. Fair ball. Busch, Ray, 2 outs. Cool event last night at the Chicago Theater. The Lovable Reunion live. And an evening with the 2016 champions. PCA made a cameo. Rossi was there, Riz was there, Joe Madden, John Lester, Jake Arrieta, Miguel Montero, Dexter Fowler, and Miguel Montero.
Did anybody that was there last night? I don't know if anybody's watching the game right now if they realize Miggy was there last night. I'm kidding, of course, as Miguel Montero was easily the MVP of that performance last night. He was so much fun. He brought laughter.
Line drive over the head of Bregman. Keishel just got enough of it.
Yeah, I mean, what a trip down memory lane to hear these guys and their stories as you went through the season. You did a tremendous job, Boog, of emceeing the event and just kind of setting that storyline alive. It's funny, when I was watching it, there were so many things that I didn't remember just because you're living in the moment of each of those games. It's hard to recall that. So to go down that again was a treat. I was smiling the whole time. I was laughing, clapping. I think I even had a couple tears. It was just a great night, and the boys showed up and put on a great show for the fans, and really shared a lot of cool stories and experiences they had throughout that championship season.
Yeah, it was an honor to be part of it, and just the energy. People were so happy, so excited. I think it's one of the most significant teams in the history of baseball. We're going to look at it from a Cubs perspective because we're excited that our team won. Beyond that, though, I think just because of the signature nature of this franchise and how long it had been, I think no matter how long this game is played, that team and what they did will be remembered. I just think it'll end up being and continue to end up being one of the most significant teams in the history of the sport.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think
like the 2004 Red Sox,
it's one of the biggest championships in all of sports history.
Yes,
if not the biggest.
Yep.
5 million people showing up to Grant Park in the parade and for the rally, and to see all that go on. Thank you of that mastermind right there, Mr. Theo Epstein, who's got his own cooler of beer out in the bleachers, it looks like. Kyle Evans on the right.
There goes the runner. Swing and a miss. Ball presented by Tasty Trade. The ball stayed on the mound. Cubs season ticket holder Eric Billy Moria would have won the $1,000 Tasty Trade jackpot. Unfortunately, it did not. Tasty Trade stocks, options, futures, crypto. Eric B, as we like to call him. Sorry, I mangled your name. John Shelby, Ryan Dempster, and Elise Menaker. Elise, wellness check. You doing okay down there?
Good, thank you.
Uh-huh. And here's proof.
I see this slow turn from
Yeah.
the dugout camera, and I'm just waiting for it. So, proof.
We can't sneak up on you.
Yeah, I just see my peripheral. I'm like, oh, here we go.
Is that a strike? Bruce, come on, man. Bregman back in 2-2. Swing and a miss. And a changeup.
Hey, join us on Monday to celebrate Greek heritage. Fans who purchase tickets through Cubs.com/specials will receive a special edition Cubs Greek heritage jersey. Don't miss out on this offer.
First one again, Hat misses down and in.
You been to Greece?
I've never been to Greece.
That's on my list.
Same.
Santorini. Heard it's a beautiful place.
Pat pops it up. Any other places in Greece
That I would like to go to?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'd go to Athens. Pretend I'm one of the original Olympians or something. Throw a javelin, maybe a shot put. I was into the throwing sports, if you could guess it or not.
No.
Yeah, discus as well. I didn't break any records, but I did break a window of a car.
The 1-2. Bailey Ober, who was on the IL from May 31st to July 9th. As Happ curls that one foul down the right side.
Ober made a start just before the All-Star break. It was his first start since May 30th. He went 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 5 Ks.
I'll tell you, it was a busy time at the ballpark over the All-Star break with all the concerts. Noah Kahn was here. John Mulaney was here. John Mulaney didn't sing. He
did stand up.
Yeah. Swing and a miss, and Happ is gone. That's 5 straight strikeouts.
We invited passionate soccer fans to push Nissan vehicles to the limit, just like they do with their teams. Hurry in to the Nissan Summer Sales Event.
Now get up to $2,250 total customer cash on Kicks SR.
There's Nico Horner. I saw Noah Kahn.
Yeah, I saw him on Wednesday. Did you go to Wednesday?
Yep,
show?
I was there Wednesday.
Special. He had some humor. I loved the phone bit with the hot dog.
It was great.
Yeah, when he called God, God called him.
On the ground towards third, but foul. That was really funny.
It was. For those who weren't at the concert, he had a payphone sitting there, and he answered the phone as it was ringing, and he said, "Hello, God." What's that? What's that? Ketchup on a hot dog?
You're okay with it.
You're okay with it. Okay. It was really funny. It was a good skit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Performance-wise, one of the better shows I've seen at Wrigley Field. Phenomenal energy. His band was lights out. It was just a spectacular night.
On the ground up the middle. Horner on the move. Clemens, high throw. And that one, I think. Nope. I thought it got into the dugout possibly.
This is one of those plays. I actually watching that replay. Cody Clemens looks like that he's thinking that ball might hit the plate. It goes over the base and it just goes over top of it, and then he kind of gets caught in between. That ball sails. The speed of Nico Horner makes it a tough play for him. Well, I think that ball is deemed out of play. Am I not correct on that? That should be a throwing error. He should go to second base.
And now they're.
Any ball that gets trapped behind a surface, whether it's in the padding or in the outfield, like the ivy up against the tarp, that ball should be out of play, and then the runner should get second base.
Yeah, so he is going to get to second base. Derek Shelton coming out. It'll go single E4. All right, so what I believe is at issue is the rule, but also does the player immediately have access to it? So like if
Be like a ball in the ivy, if a guy reaches in, it's still live.
Although now they basically shifted that to if it's in the ivy,
Which I totally get. Listen, I watched
No doubt.
Kerry Wood reach in there and pull out Andre Dawson, so I would be careful reaching to the ivy.
Here's Nico. Let's see if the Cubs can steal a run back thanks to the air. Conforto. And there's a strike. Cubs trail it 4-1. We're in the fourth.
Be nice to see Conforto pick up the RBI here.
That last play is a good example of. I think that they should just explain it to the crowd.
Yeah, I completely agree. Why not? We have the ability to do that. We can talk and tell them what happened when it comes to ball strike, overturn calls, any kind of, on-field play that's a judgment call. What's the ruling and why did that happen? Because everybody's going, what happened?
Up foul and out of play. So Nico out there at second. He's 2 for 2. Conforto pops this one up. And Lee, foul ground, makes the catch. Corner left stranded. The Cubs leave a man. End of 4 at Wrigley. It's 4-1. Chicago Cubs baseball is brought to you by Motorola. A 4-1 game as we go to the 5th. John Shelby, Ryan Dempster, and Elise Menaker. Top of the order, it'll be Larnach, Jeffers, and Bell. Big swing in this game. Ryan Jeffers, a home run with 2 aboard in the 3rd. Larnach has walked and knocked in a run with a single. He's also scored. Twins finish the first half hot. They won 10 of 15. And that's a ball now 2-0. Derek Shelton enjoying his first year as the Twins skipper. They're trying to get to 500 with a win tonight. And that is in there.
And we've seen the ups and downs through the season. We talked about the Cubs being streaky, win 10, lose 10, win 10 again. There's a lot of divisions open for grabs, and the AL Central being one of those. The White Sox, the Guardians right there, but then you look at it and go, oh man, the Twins, they get themselves back to 500 and they're right in this division race too.
They're in the mix for the last wild card spot as well. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Struck him out.
I'd like to see that out of Colin Ray. Larnach had 2 really good at-bats, his first 2 at-bats, and then he just throws a good breaking ball with 2 strikes, spitting it off that fastball that he threw away, tunneled it. All of a sudden that bottom falls out of that one, and you're heading back to the dugout.
Twins lead at 4-1. We're in the top of the 5th. And here's Jeffers. And that's a strike. Ryan Jeffers, he's a free agent at the end of the year. A lot of people talked about him as a potential trade target for, well, he's been mentioned certainly with the Yankees, but I mean, look, if you're in the middle of this thing.
Yeah, I mean, it could change so fast, and we see that especially with the extra wild card spots.
No doubt.
Teams that are out of it are all of a sudden back in the game, and you're like, well, we're not trading that guy. The biggest possible trade chip this season was talked about from Tarek Skubal. And 2 weeks ago, the Detroit Tigers were trading Tarek Skubal, and now all of a sudden they're coming out and rumors are saying they're not trading him because they've put themselves back in a playoff race.
Right there for a strike. 2-2.
I mean, look at the Boston Red Sox.
Unbelievable.
We thought they were
again today.
Won both ends, and they're up the second game of the doubleheader. So win both ends of the doubleheader today. That's 11 in a row, and now all of a sudden you're sitting there right back in the NL race or the AL East race.
2-2. Little roller to third. Bregman charges. Fires it. And Jeffers is out. Dempy, this is a good example, too, of, I think, what it means to be a big league pitcher. It comes undone for you in the third. You're on the short end 4-1. I think it's really easy for a guy out there to turn it into, it's not my night.
Yeah, I completely agree, and let it get away from you. You know, and I think that comes with the experience that Colin Ray has. Like you said, it could have got away. Now all of a sudden, your first game out of the All-Star break, and you're looking at a scenario where you may not get through the 5th inning. And if you can get settled down, now you give your team 5-6 innings and a chance to get crawled back into this thing. So that's the professionalism. That's the experience of Colin Ray coming through. A younger guy might fold a little bit more in that situation, whereas he's like, nope, just got to keep making pitches.
Time called. Bell steps out. Josh Bell 1 out of 2 with a single. Cubs had opportunities early and couldn't cash them in against Bailey Ober. He did score the first run of the game, but 4 in the third for the Twins. That's the difference. Swing and a miss. Ray gets the strikeout, and a 1-2-3 go the Twins.
Chicago Cubs baseball is presented by Fast Play from the Illinois Lottery. Download the Illinois Lottery app to play today.
Carson Kelly stands in. And there's a strike to Kelly.
And another pitch, not a strike. We saw that slider down and away to Bregman, and I think that's maybe something that Bruce Dreckman likes to give the plate away just a little bit on the outside corner.
That's to third. Lee up with it. And Kelly is out. Pretty nice play by Brooks Lee. This is not a particularly good defensive team that the Twins have, depending on where you're looking. They're tied for 25th in outs above average, 27th fielding run value, 29th in DRS. And Derek Shelton knows that it's one area where they've got to find a way to get better.
Listen, one of the ways to get better at defense is putting your guys at the same position and playing them every day. And I know the Cubs are one of the elite teams, if not the best infield in all of baseball and all around defense. Why? Same positions every day. Those guys are so solid there. Every team would love to have that, but when you bounce guys around, it's not always easy to just go play third base and then go play second, go play left, come back to third, and you're going to see miscues and mistakes, and I think that's what you get out of the Twins. A lot of moving around leads to a lot of unforced errors.
0-2 now. Dansby Swanson on the ground, diving play. Lee gets and throws out Swanson. Man, a couple of nice plays by Brooks Lee.
We talk about their defense being a little bit less than perfect, but Brooks Lee has been playing superior defense for him. You can see why he was a former first-round pick back in the day, a few years back. Great ball going to his left, coming up and throwing a strike across the diamond.
Bailey Ober loving it. And 2 up, 2 down, and now it's Pete Crow Armstrong. Twins lead it 4-1 over the Cubs. PCA lines it softly, caught out of the air by Clemens. 1-2-3 go the Cubs.
Now for our Prevagen memorable moment. So during the pregame introductions at the All-Star game in Philadelphia, every starting player from both the American League and National League, they used an old-fashioned quill pen to designed this massive, oversized Declaration of Independence, if you will. It was the themed starting lineup card. It was on a podium at home plate in this patriotic ceremony. It celebrated America's 250th anniversary. And then following the game, Major League Baseball immediately donated the historic piece of memorabilia. That's what you saw in that tweet. It appeared on social media. That was a fan favorite, just one of the things they did that was just part of the fun and intricacies that you can do during All-Star Week.
Yeah, and a great tie-in, obviously, to Philadelphia. And I thought that was a really neat touch.
Yeah, they also did that with the hats. On the inside of the hats, they had 1776 and looked like the Declaration of Independence written in there. I was a little nervous that it wasn't going to make it to the Hall of Fame because I saw Nicolas Cage underneath sneaking around. But
I'll watch National Treasure all day.
Yeah,
all
100%. Listen, I'm not one to sit here. People's stuff is people's stuff, but I've often thought about trying to steal it after watching that movie.
Foul and out of play. Activity in the pen for the Cubs as the lefty Drew Pomeranz is up. Nobody on, nobody out. 1-2. Ray ahead. And Clemens fouls it off.
One of those situations Craig Counsell would love to see Colin Ray have another clean inning here, get through this, give him 6, and give the team a chance to crawl back into it.
Popped up Swanson and Bregman and Happ, and Bregman makes the catch.
Wherever life takes you.
Whenever you need us.
We're your advocate. Advocate Healthcare.
There's Royce Lewis now. Lewis, the first overall pick in the draft in 2018. Right, a spot ahead of Hunter Green. 2017. The first overall pick in the draft. Slice to right. Seiya is there. On Friday, July 31st, the Cubs take on the Yankees at 1:20. The first 5,000 early arriving fans of the Budweiser bleachers, 21 and older, receive a Cubs 1960s replica jersey presented by Budweiser. Be sure to arrive early. That is cool. Swing and a miss from Brooks Lee. On the ground, Horner gathers it in, tossed to Bush, and a nice easy inning for Colin Ray. Good work after giving it up in the third. Midway in the sixth, it's 4-1. Our friends at Circa are sending one lucky fan to Vegas every time the Cubs walk it off at Wrigley this season under the walk-off to Vegas sweepstakes now by scanning the QR code, and you could be packing your bags for a Vegas getaway. Scan it.
You like Vegas? Are you a Vegas guy?
Yeah.
You like the shows, or do you like to gamble?
I've transitioned from gambling to shows.
Yeah, isn't that funny? When you get older?
Yeah. Just don't enjoy losing your money as much.
No. And you just seem to like the shows a little more.
No doubt. That is drilled left field towards the corner. Fair ball. And Suzuki around first. Seiya into second, and it's a leadoff double. So the Cubs with something cooking to begin the bottom of the sixth.
Seiya just gets a ball middle of the zone, laces it down the corner. The ball stays just fair. Easy cruise and double. Get that rally started. All right, now we got a leadoff runner on second base. Let's get him in. I want to say a special hello to Jack and JJ Summer. They're home with Pops watching the game right now. His dad Jeff said, "You Creighton Cubs fans, Demp. Glad you boys are watching."
Activity in the bullpen for the Twins. And a couple of former Cubs. Taylor Rogers, the lefty, is on the left. Tommy Nance, the righty, is on the right.
And a third one, LaTroy Hawkins, the bullpen coach for the Minnesota Twins.
Is in the middle. That's LaTroy, my bad, dude. Over the pitch count climbing. He's at 85. Man at second and nobody out. Bush has knocked in the Cubs' lone run with a single in the first. He's also struck out. The 2-2. Three-2, and Bush fouls it off. Michael climbs back in, awaiting a 3-2. Up the middle. Gray with a peek at third. Bush is out. Seiya moves up to 90 feet.
On Sunday, August 2nd, the Cubs take on the Yankees at 1:20 p.m. The first 5,000 early arriving fans ages 13 and under receive a Wrigley Field marquee nightlight presented by Southwest Airlines. Be sure to arrive early.
I want the marquee nightlight.
Yeah, I'm a nightlight guy. I sleep with them.
Derek Shelton out of the dugout. Pitching change brought to you by Lakeside Bank. Lakeside Bank, it's about time. Chicago Cubs baseball on Marquee Sports Network is brought to you by Toyota, official vehicle of the Chicago Cubs. By Prevagen, made for the brave. And by Wintrust. Different approach, better results. Pete Crow Armstrong showing the fans and the bleachers some love. And our buddy Tommy Nance will take over. First one in for a strike. As the big right-hander who came over from the Blue Jays takes over. So one big righty replaces another big righty. Fly ball slicing down the right side.
I think this is a big moment right here. You know, you're down 4-1. You've squandered other opportunities. Even a ground ball to short or second gets a run in. Brings the game a little closer.
That one gets away all the way to the backstop. Suzuki scrambles in, and the Cubs get a run back. It's 4-2.
This is a curveball that started out of his hand, just pops out of Tommy Nance's hand. Never a shot for Ryan Jeffers behind the plate to get to that. An easy score from third base for Seiya. Now you hit the homer.
Cubs signed Tommy Nance out of Indy Ball, the Windy City team, back in February of 2016. Andrew Bassett signed him. That one misses, and Tommy pitched for the Cubs in 21. We got connected to him through his dad, Mark, who battled ALS from 2014 before passing away last year. Oh boy. Nance having some trouble with the grip.
It's the breaking ball grip. Another breaking ball that just spins out of his hand. We saw the one that he missed for the wild pitch to score a run, and this one on a 3-2, nowhere close to the zone.
So now Ian Happ, man at first, one out. Yeah, that's through there for a strike. Tommy, part of that Blue Jays team last year, 30 appearances, a 1.99 ERA.
It's amazing the ups and downs and ebbs and flows of a reliever's life. Like, one year you could have a 1.95 ERA, and the next year you're sitting at almost a 4. You know,
and you're sitting at a 4 because of 2 bad outings.
Yeah, it's really crazy. And like, when you have a bad outing as a reliever, that takes almost a month to bring that thing back down.
Yeah, that's gonna drive you crazy. Line drive, base hit, right field. Ian Happ with the single, and the Cubs are in business. First and second, one out, and Nico to the plate.
You mentioned Tommy Nance struggling to get that breaking ball down in the zone. Not much command of it tonight. And another one, he spins out of his hand, stays up in the middle of the zone. If you're going to leave a breaking ball there to Ian Happ, you're lucky he's only hitting a single.
Well, their bullpen has been a mess. They're 29th out of 30 teams in bullpen ERA. The pitch is in for a strike.
It is kind of something else, you know. You get to a situation where you go, okay, Bailey Obert's cruising along, he gives up a double. Well, we got to go. You already struck out Alex Bregman twice. You bring in Tommy Nance, the walk, now the base hit. When you look at their bullpen, it's just 29th in the league in all of Major League Baseball. Starter ERA a little bit better, but pitching staff has been a big struggle. They put up runs, but they also give up runs. You got to be able to slug with them.
Bullpen and defense have been 2 real issues. Francisco spoils that one. On the ground, softly hit to second. They get the out, and that's all they get. Will not look at it. It's out number 2.
A really close play at second base. Happer just out by about 6 inches. You know, that's a bold play. Sometimes, you know, you look at outs and that second baseman Clemens turns to throw it to short. If you're wrong by a half a second, next thing you know, you got bases loaded. So getting that lead runner was big for him, and keeping that tying run out of scoring position for now.
First and third, 2 away. Cubs down 4-2. We're in the 6th. Nance to Conforto. There goes the runner from first. Swing. High fly ball center field. Keishel onto the track. And he makes the catch. Conforto just missed it. Beautiful shots from Art Meglin on camera, powered by Nissan. Visit NissanUSA.com or your local dealer. Back here, top 7. Colin Ray done for the 9 pitching change. Brought to you by Lakeside Bank. Lakeside Bank, it's about time. Here's Drew Pomerantz to take over top 7. And Austin Martin will pinch hit.
The pitch is called a strike. The hitter is challenging.
ABS powered by T-Mobile. And it's a ball.
The pitch is a ball. Count is 1-0.
So Martin hitting for Roden. Cubs trail it 4-2. Cubs have out hit the Twins 6-5 each side with an error. This is off the inside edge of the plate, and it's 2-1. Austin Martin hitting here, and then Keishel and Gray. Pop foul. Nobody on, nobody out. We're in the 7th, game 1 of this 3-game series. Tomorrow it'll be Taj Bradley and Matthew Boyd. Bounce to third. Ramon Borrego grabs it and tosses it into the Cubs dugout. Grady Sizemore does the coaching at first. There's Grady. Pomerantz misses there, and a leadoff walk.
This Quality Star is brought to you by National Car Rental. Speed, control, winning, confidence. Colin Ray, 6 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, just 3 earned, 6 strikeouts and 1 walk. The only real blemish, the 3-run home run by the Twins catcher Ryan Jeffers. Good performance fresh out of the break, giving his team a chance to win the ball game and hopefully coming back. But you got to be happy. You're Craig Counsell. You're starting calling ready to start off the break. What am I going to get on my starter? You never know, right? Guys take breaks. Are they ready to go? And for him to go out there, minus that one home run, threw the ball really well.
Runner takes off. First one to Keishel. And a stolen base for Martin.
Going first move, getting a big lead and then going first move, there's going to be little chance you're going to be able to get Martin, who's got some wheels.
Martin with his 10th. He has been caught 6 times. Falling behind, so a leadoff walk, and now he's fallen behind Keishel 3-0. And that's ball 4. And Tommy Hotovy going to visit I think Ryan Kreidler is going to pinch hit. Yeah, there he is. Folks, during this Twin Series, the 50-50 raffle will feature a guaranteed $75,000 jackpot. Fans in Illinois can purchase tickets at Cubs.com/raffle or from a raffle ambassador at Wrigley Field through the 8th inning of each game, now through the end of Sunday's game. As an added bonus, everyone who buys a raffle ticket today through 10 a.m. tomorrow will be automatically entered to win 4 all-inclusive AbbVie 1914 tickets to the Savannah Bananas on July 25th. Get your raffle tickets right now. See a former Savannah Banana, Tristan Peters, an all-star.
Good Canadian kid. How about that? From the Savannah Bananas to the All-Star game.
That's a base hit left field. Here comes Martin. Happ's throw is too late. Throw to third. Tag. Safe. And they're at second and third, and the Twins lead at 5-2.
Happer makes a good throw. A little high on the cutoff guy, and that's what allows Keishel to get to third base. I'm surprised he doesn't challenge this right here, but just the fact that he came off the bag for a hot second, but you see where Dansby Swanson glove gets off him and then goes back on, and at that point it's too late.
Infield squeezes in. Here's Larnach. And a challenge from Carson Kelly.
Pitch is called a ball. The catcher's challenging.
ABS powered by T-Mobile. And it's a strike.
The pitch is a strike. Count is 0-1.
Deal 1. It's dribbled foul. Larnach has walked, knocked in a run with a single, and scored. Andy has struck out swinging.
So you can tell right there that foul ball that happens, the runner at second base broke as soon as the ball got hit on the ground. So that tells you that the guy at third base, they're probably going on contact, which oddly enough with none out you would think they see it through, but that runner at third is going to be going on contact. Anything on the ground, you got to be ready to go home.
Second and third, nobody out. Pomerantz definitely having some trouble commanding his pitches. Keishel at third, Gray at second. 5-2 Twins. That one fouled in and out of the mid of Carson Kelly. Gavin Hollowell is up and throwing in the bullpen for the Cubs. Full house on a Friday night as the second half gets back underway. Up in on his thumbs that time. Infield in, nobody out. Runners at second and third. Fly ball down the right side, foul. Pomerantz on here, and he's had to work. The 1-2. And now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Hope to see a nice breaking ball. Take a little more off of it, so it's a little slower. Get him out front.
Liner caught, and everybody back to their bases. They crowded him with that fastball and a line out. And there's one away. Craig Counsell out of the dugout. And we've got a pitching change. Brought to you by Lakeside Bank. Lakeside Bank, it's about time. Well, big day at the Friendly Confines coming up tomorrow. If you can't be at Wrigley for the Champions Gate dedication, catch it all live right here on Marquee. Coverage begins tomorrow at 10 a.m. Gavin Hollowell will take over.
Hollowell having a nice little season through 8 games. 2.79 ERA. A little high on the walk rate, but also can swing and miss stuff in that arm. So exactly what Craig Counsell's trying to get right here, a strikeout or a pop-up.
Facing Ryan Jeffers, who's got the biggest hit of the game. Chopped towards third, but foul. It's a Cubs pitching staff that has really been crushed by injuries. Tommy Honaby's group, they used 32 pitchers, I believe. Breaking ball misses.
Yeah, one of the big parts of that is that starting rotation when you have no Cade Horton, no Justin Steele, Ben Brown goes down. At one point, Matthew Boyd. That's a lot of innings to cover from guys who can give you 6 or 7.
The 2-1. Jack swing, and he went. 2-2. This is where Hollowell is tough, especially on righties.
Yeah, just a real good sweeper. You gear for that fastball. Just gets about 5 feet in front of you and does a left-hand turn. See another one.
Right there, frozen. Good call, Carson Kelly. Jeffers was thinking right along with you, Demp.
Well, that's catcher on catcher crime right there. He says, oh, okay, I know a catcher could think. Ryan Jeffers, one of those guys, for sure he's got to be looking for another one of those breaking balls. Instead, nope, I'm going to go ahead and throw that fastball right down Main Street, gets him looking.
Cubs have used 32 pitchers, most in baseball. That does not count non-pitchers. First one in there for a strike. to Josh Bell.
After that, you can go one of two ways. You can go back down that breaking ball or a high above the belt fastball.
Here it comes. Struck him out. Hollowell comes in and puts out the fire. Twins pick up a run. 7th inning stretch brought to you by Budweiser. For 150 years, this Bud's for you.
Tonight's guest conductor for Take Me Out to the Ballgame, Emmy Award-winning blues harmonica player, Billy Branch.
Hey, Chicago, I'm a blues man, and our motto is, the louder you are, the better we play. So let's hear some noise for the Cubs today. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jacks. I don't care if I never get back. Let me root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame. And it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Let's get some runs.
Tommy Nance back out there, and Carson Kelly. They'll step up to hit. Kelly, then Swanson, then PCA. Kreidler stays in the game after hitting for Gray, and he's at short. And Austin Martin in right field. The 2-0. Broken bat roller, that's to short. Kreidler picks it, loads, and gets Carson Kelly.
Jam shot here, get Kelly's thumbs and slow rolling, but being stuck in the box, and then not the fleetest of foot. Good play by Kreidler to get him at first.
I'm telling him you said that.
That's okay. I never said he was slow. I just said he's not the fleetest of foot. There's a vast, range of speed in there you could choose.
First one at Swanson misses inside. The 1-0. Swanson swings and misses. If you're just tuning in and seeing Dansby with the fat lip, here's what happened earlier in the game. Throw down to second, and they took one right in the chops. But of course stays in the game. And that's basically just a straight on throw right in your face.
I mean, and it took the smallest of deflections off of an oven mitt that Keishel was running down to second with.
Yeah. Check swing went too far, struck him out.
Just can't lay off of it.
Taylor Rogers, the lefty, was up, and with Pete Crow Armstrong due to hit, Derek Shelton goes to the pen.
In the middle of the bottom of the seventh here, a pitching change because Pete Crow Armstrong is coming to the plate. And when you talk about just an evolution as a hitter, he says, you know, I'm kind of just becoming a real hitter, a more complete hitter, just the natural progression, if you will. And then when you bring it up to Jed Hoyer, he talks about when this is the version of Pete that you're getting, it's almost impossible to pitch to him, because if you don't, it's basically an extra base hit when he gets on base, like we saw in the first inning, because he can steal a bag. And if you do pitch to him, he can get the extra base hit, and that's kind of the beauty right now of Pete Crow Armstrong. Just he can get into scoring position really quickly. Now the evolution maybe came faster than people thought, but this was always the Pete that people thought could be in there, and if he has his plate discipline, he's really unstoppable.
Rogers gets him reaching right side. Clemens. And Rogers gets PCA. End of 7. The Twins on top 5-2.
Our game summary is brought to you by Wintrust. Top of the 8th, the Twins up 5-2. Michael Busch with the RBI single in the first, the big blow to the Cubs, the 3-run homer by Jeffers in the third, and the Cubs 0 for 5 with a runner on third base this evening.
Cody Clemens against Ryan Rollison. This guy has turned into one of the Cubs' best relievers.
Combination of a 25% strikeout rate and the 45.5% ground ball rate. He's got good late movement on his sinker, good breaking ball. Guys just hit the top of it into the ground. Got Gold Glovers all around the infield. It's exactly what you want.
By the way, you asked earlier, a man on third, less than 2 outs, percentage of plate appearances that produce a run. The major league average is 56.7. The Cubs are 51.6, 28 out of 30 teams. Swing and a miss. Clemens is gone.
We mentioned his breaking ball. He's got that sharp cutter slash slider, sweeper, but just late movement to it. That one actually hung up in the zone a little bit. Yeah, that's such an interesting stat because A, you're getting guys on third base a lot. You're getting them with less than 2 outs, and it's just been a struggle throughout the season. And you wonder why. Is it just, oh, just let me just try and get the ball in play, and you end up missing good pitches? Obviously, it's one of those things where sometimes you struggle in that area. You could be really great in something else, but something in the second half that the Cubs would like to improve on.
Little dribbler foul. Twins lead at 5-2. We're in the top of the 8th. 1 out, base is empty. 97 right there. Lewis ready to step back in. Rollison fires. Swanson handles that one and made it look easy. 2 away, and folks, the Tigers come to town Monday, July 20th for the final 3 games of this homestand. Tickets still available. Get yours today at Cubs.com/tickets. Down. And Brooks Lee takes a strike. Lee 0 for 3. On the ground through the left side and a base hit. So for the Twins, their 7th hit of the night.
Started him with a little backdoor cutter for a strike. That one just catches more of the plate, and he's able to rip it for a single.
There's a strike.
Maybe.
Or not.
This is one of those situations you want to be able to, finish this inning out. I had a pitching coach one time, Brad Ardensburg, really great pitching coach.
A roller foul.
And he says to me, when you get 2 out and nobody on, that's when you really have to bear down. Sometimes we can get complacent because there's nobody on, there's 2 out, just let me make a pitch. But that's when you have to shut that inning down. You have control of that inning. You're in the driver's seat, so you have to bear down, focus, make sure you make a really good pitch, and not allow that 2-out drama to happen.
Runner goes, 0-2 is low. Throw to second. Tag. Ow! Derek Shelton saying, please hold. And they're going to look at it.
Minnesota is challenging the out call at second base.
They're taking a second look. A second opinion is always a good idea. Get yours in Northwestern Medicine.
I think it's one of those things where it's so close. You're in the 8th inning. You got to challenge that, but to me, he looks like he's out, or at least there's not enough to overturn that.
I think he's out.
Well, it's funny, on this slide, he looked like he was going to be safe easily, but on the slide, he actually slows down. His right leg, which is tucked underneath there, you see there, kind of slows his progression towards second base down.
Well, he starts popping up.
Yeah, and allows Dansby to slap that tag real quick.
After review, the call in the field stands. The runner is out. Minnesota will lead their challenge.
We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. 5-2 Twins lead. As we go bottom 8, Twins with the lead as we welcome you to the Budweiser broadcast booth. Cubs fan for 150 years. This Bud's for you. John Shambi and Ryan Dempster. It's good to see you, brother.
Great to see you, dude. It's really good to be here. I'm glad we could give JD a little extended All-Star break, and just to be here for, you know, the comeback after the All-Star break and the big festivities this weekend. It's a special weekend for me to be a part of.
Yeah, no doubt. Fun night last night for the Lovable Reunion Live. Those guys doing a great job with that podcast.
Yeah, I think, you know, the fact that we're going down memory lane, it's hard to remember all the special moments, but when you can hear them, you get to go down your own trip down memory lane. And just as important, you know, you get to hear it from the guys themselves and what they were thinking in those moments. It's just, last night was a home run, Boog. You crushed it, and the boys up there had a good time. But the definite MVP was Miguel Montero, hands down. If there was a quiet period, he sure made sure it was filled.
On a strike on Seiya Suzuki, who's walked, struck out, doubled, and scored. Cubs trail it by 3. It's 5-2. And that's a strike. Seiya Suzuki will challenge.
Pitch is called a strike. The hitter's challenging.
And unfortunately for Seiya, I think this is going to be a strike. This is what we call, in our world of pitchers, the perfect pitch.
Wow.
Pitch is confirmed. Count is 1-2. Chicago has 1 challenge remaining.
I think if you only threw fastballs and you threw 100 of them in a game and you threw them all right there, I think other teams would have a tough time scoring any runs.
You're not kidding. Line drive, left center field, and sliding and making the catch is Keishel. Byron Buxton, who? I don't really mean that, Buck. That's a heck of a play.
Infinity cutting edge moment. Experienced their luxury SUVs today, and this is just a tremendous catch. You see this ball just keeps carrying, as we see many times off Seiya's bat, and Keishel running, sliding, and he says, oh man, doing his best impersonation of his teammate Byron Buxton.
Heck of a play by Keishel. swing, says Mark Wagner.
When you hear that song, what's the first thing that pops in your mind?
Yeah, Pee Wee Herman.
Every time.
The 1-2. Talked about the struggles for the Twins in terms of the bullpen. This has been, of late, one of their better guys. It's rolled to the right side. And Lewis to Morris, 2 away. So Bregman now, Alex 0 for 2 with a walk. Twins lead at 5-2. That is in there for a strike, a cutter at 94. In on the thumbs of Bregman, 99 from Andrew Morris. Down and in.
You can see why Derek Shelton likes to go to this guy in high leverage. The fact that he's throwing 98, 99 miles an hour, and that's a really good split. It ended up being a ball, but good action on it. It's got a good arm.
Now it squirts away from Jeffers. Bregman bounces it to the right side. Clemens. And 1, 2, 3 go the Cubs. On to the ninth. Well, Colin Ray with 6 strikeouts here tonight to help Appy's Striking on Cancer initiative. Appy people, passion, possibilities. 6 innings. 4 runs, 3 earned. Gave up the homer to Jeffers, but I would say did the job. He gave him a chance to win.
Yeah, and listen, you get that ball from Michael Busch, right? And that hit deflects off the oven mitt, hit Stansby Swanson. That's first and third. If that gets done there, maybe the pitching sequence is different. You never know, right? Like, that was kind of a little bit of a game changer in the inning, a freak incident at second with the ball hitting Stansby in the face. But otherwise, I thought he threw the ball pretty well. And the long ball has been the thing that has burned the Cubs. You know, throughout the course of the season so far, second most homers given up. Most homers given up at this point through 96 games in franchise history.
Line drive, foul. Yeah, that has been a real issue for this team, is giving up homers.
Three-run homers. If you go down a game and you look at a team, more often than not, if you hit a 3-run homer in that game, you're winning that game.
Yeah. The A's and the Cubs. Check swing, and he went.
Jet sweeper, get him out in front.
All right, so you're more of the guy who I'm going to bring up's generation. Watch Tyler Ferguson. Motion, the setup right there, and then the short arm. Got some Derek Lowe from that.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. That quick little arm action.
Yep, and the way, and Derek, I feel like set a little angle.
Yep. I thought you were going to go Dan Maselli on me.
Oh, wow.
But you went Derek Lowe.
Popped up. And Suzuki calls off Horner. We'll go to the bottom of the ninth. Last chance for the Cubs.
Here we go.
Nice work by Ferg. That was pregame with all sorts of festivities with Eddie Vedder and Bill Murray and Anthony Rizzo. Here is Yoendrys Gomez. And the right-hander takes over, trying to put this one away. Cubs trail it by 3. The Cubs need base runners.
All rallies start with that leadoff guy getting on. Ian Happ to try and make his way to first.
There's ball 1.
Our man Coop was mentioning that Gomez didn't have a ton of time getting ready in the bottom of the 8th inning, as it was just a 7-pitch inning. There's always a little cat and mouse game. I remember when I was closing, and Tony La Russa, every time we played St. Louis, if it was at home especially, he would always do this. You'd be up 3 and you're going to come into close. He'd change his pitcher 2 or 3 times because he wanted you to throw more warm-up pitches and wear yourself out as a strategic play. And he loved to do that. Now it's changed obviously with the 3 rule, but
right,
he would always do that. I just drove me nuts. He told me that was Dave Duncan. He told me Dave Duncan was the one who said, mess with the pitchers down. You know, I'll go meet with our pitcher, I'll slow him down, and it worked. I mean, sometimes you'd be out there and the inning felt like it went an hour.
It wasn't real hot in St. Louis, right? Challenge.
This is close.
ABS powered by T-Mobile.
Pitch is overturned. The count is 3-2.
So now it's 3-2. Three-two. Ball 4.
Oh, that's how it starts, Boog.
The old leadoff walk. Somewhere Jim DeShays is watching, knowing that the leadoff walk always comes around to score.
60% of the time, it works every time.
Makes no sense. Nico at the plate. And there's a strike. Oh. Lashed foul and out of play. The 0-2. And Horner takes up and in. Yoendrys Gomez trying to nail down the final 3 outs. The Cubs down by that many. On the ground to second for one. Return to first. Out. Wow. Mark Wegner.
Chicago is challenging the out call at second and the out call at first.
They're taking a second look. A second opinion is always a good idea. Get yours at Northwestern Medicine. So it's going to be out and safe.
After review, the call at second is confirmed. That runner is out. The call at first is overturned. That runner is safe. Chicago will retain their challenge.
Really nice job by Royce Lewis to dig that one out on the throw by Kreidler. So Michael Conforto tasked with keeping this thing going. 1 out, man at first. Got a swing and a miss. The 0-1. Gomez ahead, 0-2. Conforto has singled, popped out foul, and flied to center. And that one is in there, and Conforto is gone.
Throws you a couple breaking balls. You think he's going to come back with that, and then he just throws a fastball down Main Street. Conforto frustrated with himself. Probably wish he was sitting dead red right there, but gets locked up.
So Carson Kelly now. 2 outs, man at first. Down 5-2. Carson 0 for 3. 1-0. Got one in there. Cubs had a man at third and nobody out, up 1-0 in the first. Were not able to cash in that chance. And then had a man at third and nobody out in the second and couldn't cash in that chance.
You never know when your scoring opportunities are going to be. Sometimes they're early on in the game. You might get chances later, and that's why you got to make the most of them.
The 1-2.
Listen, you're just a base runner away from bringing the tying run to the plate. It's where you grind as hard as you can. Try to get something you can handle. Get on first base.
Two. And Nico takes off for second. Three and 2. Here we go. Carson Kelly waits. Gomez. High fly ball out towards right center. Onto the track, and the catch is made by Keishel, who did a good job tonight out there in center. Kelly flies out. That's the ball game, and the Twins take the opener of this 3-game series. 5-2. Your final. For Ryan Dempster, Elise Menaker, and our entire crew, I'm John Shelby. Thanks for watching Chicago Cubs baseball here on Marquee Sports Network. Again, your final: Twins 5 and the Cubs 2. Tomorrow, game 2, it'll be Boyd and Bradley. Coverage begins at noon. Don't forget 10 a.m. here on Marquee. The Champions Gate dedication for you. Don't want to miss that. Coming up after the break, Cubs postgame live. Cole Wright and Cliff Floyd. Stick around for that.